Hi guys, welcome to TeaFairy Storytime. I just finished reading a whole bunch of books, some by an author that actually sent them to me, another one because it's got beautiful illustrations of flowers, and I love flowers, and fairies and all kinds of neat things. This one is one of the Bard Manor books. It's called Let's Talk About Being Selfish, and it's by Joy Barry and illustrated by John Costanza. Let's talk about being selfish. Lots of manners books today. Let's Talk About Being Selfish by Joy Barry, illustrated by John Costanza, edited by Orly Kelly, and designed by Jill Blossom. This is a Grolier Enterprises Incorporated book. It was copyrighted in 1982, and it's part of a whole group of Let's Talk About books. Let's talk about being selfish. Have you ever been with a person who was eating something and would not share it with you? Chomp, chomp, crunch. May I please have some? Have you ever played with a person who would not share his or her toys with you? May I play with one of your toys? No! People who do not share their things with others are selfish. Selfish people care only about themselves. They do not care about the thoughts and feelings of other people. They don't share well. They don't want to help other people. They're very unpleasant. When you are with someone who is selfish, how do you feel? What do you think? What do you do? When you are with someone who is selfish, you may feel left out, frustrated, and angry. That would be pretty normal. You may think this person's not fun to be with. That would be pretty true. You may choose not to play with this person. Will you play with me? No, thank you. Or maybe it's just, no, thank you. It's important to treat other people the way you want to be treated. If you want people to share their things with you, you will need to share your things with them. You will need to be unselfish. Can I play too? Sure. Very nice sharing. Being unselfish does not mean that you have to share all of your things all of the time. Golly, what should I do? I have only one sucker. How can I share it with Jennifer? Well, it's awfully nice of him to think of it. It doesn't mean that he has to do it. That would be very hard to do. If you have something to eat and there's not enough to share with the person you're with, put the food away. Try not to eat food in front of a person who does not have anything to eat. Do you want to play? Sure. See how he's putting the sucker in his back pocket? That way he's not leaving her out, and she won't feel bad. And he won't feel bad for being selfish. If you're going to share some food or anything else with another person, try to be as fair as possible. Here's a good rule to follow when you are dividing something. Let one person do the dividing and the other person do the choosing. I'll divide the piece of cake and you choose which half you want. That's fair. Somehow I feel like I already read this story to you guys. Maybe it's an important one to read. If you have something special that you do not want to share, do not use it in front of another person. That is, unless the other person is content not to use it, or the other person has something else to use. This red car is very special to me. Could you use the blue one? Sure. This would also mean, like, if you have a visitor over and you have video games, you stop playing video games and play with your friend unless it's a video game that you can both play at the same time or take turns. Because it's not nice to have somebody over and leave them sitting bored. You do not have to share your things with anyone who may lose or damage them. Put your things away if you're afraid this might happen. The last time the baby got in my room, he ruined things. I'd better put them away. Here comes the baby. My sister used to do that. One time she got into my makeup and smushed the lipstick all over her face. You remember that, Celeste? When you share your things, help the other person take care of them. Show the person how to use your things in the right way and tell the person where to use your things. You may play with my tape recorder, but I want to show you how it works. And you have to promise that you won't take it outside. Boy, it shows how old these books are. There are no longer tape recorders. Maybe in these days we would say, you may play with my video games, but I want to show you how they work. And you have to promise that you won't take them outside. Or my cell phone, or my video game controller, or something like that. We don't really have tape recorders anymore. This is an old book. If there is only one thing that must be shared by 2 or more people, be fair. Take turns using it. Let each person use it for an equal amount of time. Someone can count, or you can use a clock or a timer to help keep track of the time. My time is up. It's your turn. We used to use an egg timer, but now we have things like digital programs that you can set alarms, something called Alexa. But if I say it too loud, she'll start talking, and I don't want her to. If you want to be happy, you will treat other people the way you want to be treated. This means you will not be selfish because you do not want other people around you to be selfish. So it's one of those things about treat other people the way you want to be treated. They call that the golden rule. And every religion in the world that I know of has a version of the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Be kind to others and they'll be kind to you. That kind of thing. All right, so that was about Let's Talk About Being Selfish by Joy Berry and illustrated by John Costanza. And I love these books, even though they are ancient history, it seems. What was the copyright date again? 1982. These are over 30 years old. That's amazing. Where has the time gone? All right, folks, that's story time for today. No more stories today. Tune into my podcast. You can find me on Spotify and Google Podcasts and Pocket Cast and so many places. But I'm using this really cool program on my phone, and I can't remember the name of it right now. Let me see.